This is our first show of the semester. We've got 3 more coming. Thank you all for coming. How are we feeling tonight? All right, we're going to get started in just a moment. Are we good? Oh, that's my cue right there. All right, everyone. Our first comedian, very experienced, longtime member of the club. It's Holly Perna, everyone. Put your hands together.
Tonight. Okay, so originally I wrote a joke about January 6th, because that was going to be the original theme of the show, but it was vetoed. But I didn't want to offend anyone, because I'm looking around now, and it does seem like a lot of you were definitely there. So New Year, any New Year's resolutions we got? Okay, whatever, I'm going to talk about mine. So one of my New Year's resolutions is to start going on more dates, because I haven't been doing that. However, I do have a very strict criteria, and that is that they must be between the height of 6 foot and 6'4". And everyone in my family knows this, so when I come home and I'm like, guys, there's a new guy, my mom will be like, okay, so is he in the price range, or... So that's number 1, and number 2 is that they have to be a little attractive, but not like attractive enough that they have confidence, because that's not good. And then 3rd is that they have to be weird, but not like so weird that my friends will come up to me after and be like, oh my god, Holly, he's so weird, but just weird enough that they were bullied in middle school. And you know, it builds character, so whatever. So one time I was dating this guy, and he was so great. I really liked him. He had a lot of really good qualities, you know. He was tall. So he takes off his pants, and he's, you know how it goes. And he's wearing SpongeBob SquarePants underwear. And naturally, like, the nose is like his penis. And I love this. I thought this was really great. He got a lot of points for me for this one. But I really expected him to start playing it like the piccolo. And he didn't, which would have been really great because I love musicians. Yeah, anyway. That's my only sex joke of the night, which is actually so surprising because usually I'm full of them. However, I've been having... Don't snap! I've been having a dry January. Since September, there are cobwebs growing in my vagina. Direct quote from my mom. And you know, I'm not gonna blame myself for this one. This one is not my fault because the dating pool in Boston sucks. It's so bad. The guys are either assholes or they're short, and like it's just so hard to find anyone, you know. And you guys know I like tall guys, but over the last semester I was like trying to branch out a little bit. I was getting a little desperate, and so I walk outside and I was like, all right, maybe I'll try with the short guys. And I look around, I'm like, all right, where are my shorties at? And they're nowhere to be found. No. And then I saw the Wicked movie. And there they were, clanking their little shoes down the frickin' Munchkin land. And you know what, everything is really all about perspective because I was sitting in my seat and I was staring up at the big screen. And they looked tall. Does anyone like going home for the holidays? See, I used to like going home for the holidays until I got to college, and now every time I go home for the holidays, my family likes to ask me really stupid, dumb questions. For example, this past Christmas, I go to Christmas dinner, and my grandma says, "Hey, Holly, so when are you getting married?" I don't even have a boyfriend. I don't even have a campus crush. One time I had to get a second job because I spent too much real money on the Kim Kardashian game and I was going into credit card debt. Fucking marriage. Last month I almost went to the hospital because I shoved a baby carrot up my butt. Just to see what would happen. Nothing happened. Fucking marriage, I don't know. But my grandma does like to remind me every year that by the time she was my age, she was already married and pregnant with my dad. But the difference between me and her is that I may be a single, immature college student, but I never had to regret not getting an abortion. Going to hell for that one. Anyway, yeah, I've been like asking myself as I get back onto campus, I'm like, all right, Holly, you gotta get out there again, you have to start talking to people. And you know, it's really easy to talk to guys because guys are really dumb and they understand everything and whatever. And so then I remembered why I was taking a break from guys in the first place. So I'm gonna share this story with you guys right now. On my birthday, December 12th, I get a text from a guy that I ghosted in June. And it was a happy birthday text. And of course I responded with thank you, because I'm nice. And he thought that meant that he was back in. It didn't. Because then he proceeds to text me, hey, do you want to hang out next semester? And then he sends me a Google Calendar invite. And I'm going to read it to you. This is real. Get ready for the unhinged musical event of the quarter. Singing funny lady, I guess that's me. Ex fake finance fuckhead. A duet that nobody asked for but everyone secretly needs. Witness these two titans of chaos deliver a performance that combines too much dark humor, terrible financial advice, hence the Kim Kardashian game, and the kind of energy that screams, when we said we have therapists, it's just our plug in the Walgreens parking lot. It gets worse. Bring your earplugs, your birth control, and anything else to plug all the holes from getting fucked the way our lives are. And this is real. I am not making this up. This is real. Anyway, so I will be continuing my dry January this semester. You know, unless there's any like 6-foot-something little freaks in the audience who can tell me where they were on January 6th. That's all I got. Thanks, guys. I'm Holly.
Give it up one more time for Holly. Speaking of parents over the holidays, my dad texted me this morning. I challenge you to work the word smelt into your routine. I did it, Dad. All right, next up, we have a brand new comic. It is her first time on our stage. One might call her a Virgin Mary. It's Mary, everyone.
Hi, everyone. So we've been talking a lot about dry January lately. And you know, I think it's great. Like, being sober for a month, it's great. It's good for your health. But it's good financially, too. Like, do you know how much money alcohol is? You could save so much money if you did it. You could buy more weed. I mean, like, maybe by the end of the month, you could even buy tequila shots for the table. I'm just saying. I don't know. But the thing is being sober for a month in college is like saying I'm gonna run a marathon. The odds of that happening are like the odds of Northeastern taking down those loofah trees. Yeah, it's wishful thinking at this point. I don't know, I've been thinking about it, like could I do it, right? Because my friend, like an asshole, decided she was gonna tell me, yeah, so actually, alcohol's really bad for you. It's like poison. So I'm doing dry January. Right after I yelled batty batty shot o'clock. A moment like that really makes you think about your life decisions. I was like, fuck, am I an alcoholic? Like, is me questioning this a bad thing? So I consult the family. I'm like, have you guys ever heard of it, right? And keep in mind, my family's very Irish. Like, so Irish to the point where my aunt named her kid Jack Daniels. So really I just wanted validation at that point, honestly. But I don't know. So I asked them, I'm like, is it like a Gen Z thing, dry January, have you ever done it? and the room went silent. Like, I shit you not, it was like I recreated the potato famine. So, 1 minute One minute later, though, my 80-year-old Catholic grandma mutters, "Fuck that." And I shit you not, a chorus erupted. Like, they created a national anthem against Dry January. Someone yelled out, "Fuck Dry January, try Drunk January." That was creative. It was actually Jack Daniels, for information. But they have a point. Like, being sober, New Year's resolutions, that's great. I love that. It's super healthy. But why are we calling it Dry January? Like, honestly, it's not creative. Now, no, not November, that's poetic. There's alliteration there. But Dry January? I don't know. I think we should do Joint January instead and just chill the fuck out. I mean, looking at the crowd, some of you guys are already doing that one. But I think you guys can do Dry January. I think you'll be fine with it. You're here and it's a Friday night. It's not that big of a change in routine for you guys. Anyway, stay sober. I'm Mary Gwali. Good night.
Give it up one more time for Mary. All right. You know, speaking of poison, speaking of things that make us feel awful but also laugh, we've got our next comedian. That's Matt Hacker, everybody.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, Mia. I know this is yours. Hey, what's up? How are we? How are you guys? I'm not gonna make you guys do it again. I hate when people do that so much. I tried to do that I'm a Husky ambassador, and I tried to do that on a tour once. And like I started, I was like, "Oh my gosh, how are we?" And they were like, "Eh." And then I started to go into it. I was like, "Oh, come on!" And a dad just stops me and he goes, "No." And it's all I can think about. Anyway, so my New Year's resolution this year, it was I wanted to do some more mature comedy, some more like mature sets. So no more dicks, no more drinking, maybe a little bit of dicks. Who knows? We'll see how this set goes. If it starts going well, or it starts going bad, I'll bring them out. We'll see. No, not like that. You'll shut up. Let me focus, okay? But the whole reason for this change is because last semester in the fall, a friend of mine, we were talking after the show, and he said that a lot of my comedy is really dependent on like the topics that I'm talking about. You know, because it's always like drinking stories, sex stories, weed stories. You know, for me, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. But he said that, you know, a lot of the reason that I'm as funny as I am is just because of the things that I'm talking about. To which I said, yeah, no shit, you know. Of course I talk about the funny things at the funny show. Of course I pick my topics based on, you know, like what I'm doing. It's the same reason Biden doesn't come out at like the State of the Union, like, "Suck, shuckle fucks." Like, it's just not the tone. And so, yeah, he gave me a challenge. He was like, "Matt, write a set about something like politics or something." And I did it. I wrote this set, and I will present it to you now. Shut up. All right, let me focus. Shut up. I got this. All right. Shut up. Come on. So I'm not the biggest gun guy, not the biggest like gun supporter, and that's just mostly because I'm, you know, educated. And but there is one argument for guns. There's one argument that I really do agree with. I wholeheartedly support it, but it's never one I hear talked about, and that's political assassination. No, trust me, this joke kills. So like undeniably, Republicans are just better at it. Like, no, credit where credit's due, you guys. Their track record is fucking flawless. JFK, MLK, RFK Jr. probably, give it time. No one does it like them. They're the best at it. And I was like, why? And then it clicked. Guns are like their whole thing. It would honestly be embarrassing if they couldn't like at least take out a congressman, you know, like at the bare minimum. And then I was thinking, and to me, the funniest part about all of it is that like Democrats have tried. They've tried. They just keep missing, and that's really the one thing you're not supposed to do when you're trying to assassinate is miss. I think that's like the one no. And it's not even like, even if you ignore like the Trump one over the summer, Democrats have taken shots at Andrew Jackson, Richard Nixon, both Bushes. In 1981, there was a guy probably about like as far as like I am to the wall. Like it was that distance, and he was like that close to Ronald Reagan. And it's like a whole crowd, and he pulls out like a 6-shooter revolver, and he fires all 6 shots like point blank at Ronald Reagan. Misses every single fucking one. Pathetic. Oh my god. Could you imagine how embarrassing that must have been? In a crowd of people, have everyone like look at you while you're like, die pig, and then you miss, and then miss, and then miss, and keep missing. Oh my gosh, that must be the saddest guy in prison. Like that's so embarrassing. But then, honestly, my favorite like thought that came out of all of this was I just can't stop thinking about how many like anti-gun laws could have been passed if they just shot a president, you know? No, it would be like if Trump could like could stop like all trans healthcare, but first he has to like get a set of big old bazongas, you know? I don't know where I'm going with this set, you guys. I didn't really, I'm not sure. This isn't my usual material. Usually I would come up and I would just kind of like saunter on stage and be like, did I ever tell you about the time I like butt chugged a Four Loko in Southend? Like that's kind of what the usual is. I think certainly what I'm not doing is condoning assassination. I think I legally have to say this. Don't. We cool? Don't do it. I don't think that any president deserves to die. I don't think every president deserves to live. You know, I think that's where my line, like I'll allow it, you know. Like my philosophy, like if it was Matt's America, right? Is that, oh, are you laughing because you're imagining it and it's so joyous and prosperous? I'm assuming that's, no, in Matt's America, the way it would work is after every presidency, we vote again. But it's on whether or not they did a good job. And then if we vote yes, they live. And if we vote no, who knows? You know, we may never know. You know, but yeah, I mean that's just like my idea. I think it puts some stakes on it. You know, there's something to fight for if you're president that way. You know, it's like in Matt's America, it would be like, go ahead, Donnie, repeal student loan forgiveness, see what happens. We're all aggressively Italian in my America. That's a big part of it too. Unfortunately, that's the only politics I'm aware of, so that's my time. Thank you so much.
Give it up one more time for Matt Hecker. Nope. That's enough. You know, listening to Matt's set, it got me thinking, and I think he's partially right about that, but the Democrats, we're just trying a new way. So I was getting off the Green Line with my best friend a few months ago, and there's a guy holding a newspaper, putting his hand out like this, and he goes, kill Donald Trump, kill Donald Trump, to every single person who got off. So maybe we're not assassinating, but I think we're just kind of like creating a cabal. I've got a few guys who I'm meeting in a few minutes, so maybe we'll get back to you when we come up with something new. But anyways, on to our next guy. It's Ben Brown, everyone.
This one work? Oh, no.
No, it's fine.
All right, no, it's cool, it's cool. You can use it. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Hi, everyone. My voice did not crack there. That's just how I talk. It's my last semester of college. Only a little bit left. Thank you. Cheering clap, guys. Holy fuck. And I'm a chemical engineer, right? And that does not mean I know how to make meth. It does mean, though, that if I don't have a job by the end of the semester, I will make a bomb. I'm starting to regret my career choice. You know, you'd think chemical engineering would be safe, but it's not. The engineering job market is just a piece of crap right now. I wish I picked something a little more guaranteed, a little more stable. Like my one friend, he's becoming a priest. Now that is a gig. You're locked in for life. And you get a free ride to heaven. And you get to touch as many hearts as you want. Now I'm not a very good Christian. I'm not a Christian at all, actually. I'm Jewish. And I have separate Jewish and German ancestry, a bit of a conflict of interest. Sometimes I'll be sitting in synagogue, you know, praying. And the German part will start to take over, like the symbiote. Do it! Kill them! Kill them all! I am noticing a high concentration of international bankers in this room. Yeah, I like that one. I think it's because I'm Jewish, but I really never understood why Christmas was a bigger holiday than Easter. Now, Christmas, that's just a baby being born. That happens all the damn time. Babies popping out left and right nowadays. But Easter, now that is something truly special. It is not just every day that a giant rabbit hides painted eggs around the forest. I saw my 28-year-old gay cousin on Hinge the other day. And in his preferences section, he had listed short-term relationship. Dude, you're 28. You don't have that much time left. We did go on one date, but there were no. All right. Do any of you know about the Mooger Hall bathroom? All right. You may know that the Mooger Hall bathrooms used to not have locks on the doors. There are now locks on the Mooger Hall bathrooms. You may have also heard that the locks were placed on these doors because of prostitution occurring within the Mooger Hall bathrooms. And I would just like to clear the air. What I did in there with other consenting adults was done with no pay involved. Just had to clear that up. God forbid a potential employer thinks that I was paying for the sex I was having on school grounds. Popular girls in high school always treated me like I was special needs. They would be nice to me, but they wouldn't treat me like a person. It's probably because I especially needed some pussy. I watched a lot of porn in high school. You can't tell. But I'm very anti-porn now. I promise you. It just gives you really unrealistic expectations about your body, about the people's bodies that you're going to be having sex with someday, hopefully. And, I'd just be, I'm like 16, I'm watching porn, and I'm thinking the whole time, like, damn, there is no way my asshole is as deep as this guy's. I just can't take dick. And same thing with like expectations for other people's bodies as well. The first time I had sex, oh my god, I feel so bad for this girl. When I took off her clothes, and it wasn't Marge Simpson, I had no idea what to do. I'm expecting all blue and yellow. Let me make some green. That is all I have for you. If anyone has striking blue hair, come see me after the show.
I took a look in the bathroom, and there are 3 ladies with blue hair waiting for you right now. But coming up next, we've got another experienced comedian. It's Mia, everyone.
What the fuck was that? Well, experience. All right, I'll do it here. My New Year's resolution is to stop writing sets about getting dumped. It's actually just to stop getting dumped. And I've been thinking a lot about this recently as to why all my relationships end, and I think it's because I have something called ADHD. And if you don't know what that stands for, it actually stands for, dick! Help! Dick! Some people have erectile dysfunction. I have executive dysfunction. I'm like really good at starting things, really bad at finishing them. But now that I'm single, I have to start worrying about walking home alone at night again. Sorry, oops. And, you know, it's not a big deal. I am the least muggable person ever, other than the fact that I'm like the size of like a small dog, like maybe a really large cat. But it's because I always have things in my pockets. Like, I'm like Mary Poppins if she was gross. Like, I reach into my pockets and I pull out a granola bar from like 6 months ago, like a piece of confetti. Like, someone's gonna come up to me on the street and go, "Empty your pockets!" And I'm gonna go, "No, please! Please! I'm just one woman!" It would go just like that. But for real, I just sent a shirt to the dry cleaners. 2 things in the pockets. 1, stack of dollar bills. A balloon. 1 pocket, I'm a stripper. Other pocket, I'm a clown. Stripper clown. You know what? I'm not really good at blowing things anyway. The Google search I had to do for this. Google thinks I have a clown fetish. Clown balloon dick. Balloon animal dick. Clown balloon animal dick. Clown dick. Clown rope. Now that's freaky. I mean, you know what they say about big shoes, right? You know, if this set went badly, I was gonna make myself disappear. Speaking of things that made me want to disappear, I started my second co-op, and I started that co-op the way that anybody would want to start a job: blackout drunk. Close your eyes. I want you to picture meeting your brand new CEO. Blackout drunk. It's terrible. He walked up to me. Oh, nope. I'm a scientist and a comedian, so you can imagine that when I have a sip of alcohol, I have these social skills of a space alien. Like, this man walked up to me and he goes, "What is your biggest passion in life?" I immediately said juggling. Clearly, I wasn't juggling men. Excuse me, Mr. CEO, when I signed that little NDA, I didn't know it stood for no drink alcohol. Take that! You know, being drunk is like fine until it becomes a noun. Like, I could be drunk, but I become, whoa. Call me a drunk, put an A in front of it, now I'm in AA. It's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Aw, I really wanted this to come off the stand. Now I'm in AA. Sorry guys, I'm forgetting. Guys, that actually worked. I was so nervous. People in my company, they looked at me and they were like, "Don't drink the hand sanitizer." Damn it, Larry, that was one time. But yeah, after my AA meetings, I will be available for children's parties. So, thanks guys.
Let's keep going from the, Now, our next comedian probably has, you want to take this too? Our next comedian hopefully has just as many tricks up his sleeves. It's Olivier, everybody.
All right. Hi guys, how you guys doing? Good. Thank you for responding. So, yeah, growing up, right, I was broke as fuck, and you right here, what's your name? Daniel. Yeah, Daniel was also broke as fuck growing up, so he can relate. That's why I bring him up. Thank you for supporting me, right? And like growing up, it was a type of I'm sorry, man. It's a type of broke, right? Like we're beefing over how broke everyone is. right? Like you know how rappers, they're in the videos, they're like flexing like their money and their jewelry, like and all the shit they got, right? Like for us, we're flexing the shit we could have had. You know, like we're posted up in the bedroom, right? And the more shit that's missing, the better, right? Like Olivia, where's your room? Where's your bed? Where's your windows? You know, I don't know. You tell me. But yeah, naturally, I hated rich people because I was broke, right? Not all of them, though, just the ones that try to be relatable, right? Like I think it was LeBron. He was like, "Oh, you know me. I still use coupons now and then." You know, like I still. It's a great deal too, because now you get $3.50 off of every yacht that you buy. Like, you know, I'm at $21 now. I can, you know, that's it. And it's not that I'm mad at these rich people, right? It's that when I'm rich, you know, God willing, when I'm rich, I don't want to relate to these broke bitches. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry, what was your name again? I'm so sorry, man. I just wanted to remember there for the support. Where did I go after this? Oh yeah, because when I'm rich, I'm gonna be like the most unrelatable rich person out there, right? That's my plan. I'm gonna do the most unrelatable shit. One, I'm gonna give my kid a dumbass name, right? Like something stupid, right? Like Elon, right? How he named his kid after his like favorite vacuum model or some shit, right? Or the nameplate on his Model X or some shit like that. I'm gonna be so unrelatable, right? The thing is though, I can't get too rich, too unrelatable, right? Because at some point, you get to like the Jeffries and the Diddy's and shit, right? I can't have that. I can't have that. You know, I can't have Kendrick dropping the diss track on me too. You know, I can't have R. Kelly asking me for a feature, right? You know, so as soon, I don't know what that, I read somewhere, it's like, someone asked, is there like a certain net worth that you get to, right? That where suddenly, you know, you just get the urge, you know, get the urge to like snatch, you know. And listen, whatever that number is, I don't know what it is, right? Let's say it's $1 billion. Soon as I get to $1 billion minus one, shoot me, you know, get me gone, right? Just send me off, send me free. Tell my mother I love her, tell my kids I love them. Right, but in like a super platonic way. You know? Damn, I forgot to say what I was gonna name my kids. I don't think I said that. I'm gonna name, if it's a boy, like Jumbotron 3000. Right, if it's a girl, Jumbotrina 3001. For equality and shit. Right. But yeah, tell my kids, you know, I need someone to go like, hey, Jumbotrina, I'm so sorry, Daddy had to go. I'm sorry, your father had to go. He didn't want to be your daddy. That's why he had to go. Yeah, but I'm doing better now. You know, I'm on co-op, right? So I'm not as broke as Daniel here. I'm sorry, man. So now I like to treat myself from time to time, right? I go to IV instead of Stis. You know what I mean? Because IV is better, trust. Like, that chicken at Stis is dry as fuck, right? Listen, I don't know what they do to them chickens, bro, but that shit cannot be FDA approved, I'm telling you. But yeah, hopefully I'm not broke within the next few months. That's my time. Thank you guys for laughing.
Keep it going for Olivia. There's a lost child in the audience, Jumbotrina 3001. Your father would like to meet you at the mic stand. Please come up after the show. Our next comedian, looking pretty stylish tonight, it's Sean, everybody.
How's everyone doing? Do you guys like my big gay scarf? Yeah! Oh my God. I killed a big gay zebra to make it. It's just, you know, I've seen a lot of big gay scarves on campus recently. And I kind of really feel seen because, you know, I feel like I'm in a safe space. You know, gay people, we like to wear big, long puffers, some nice wool gloves, and a big gay scarf. Whenever I walk by a dude wearing a scarf, I always look at him like, you want to get coffee? Because, you know, straight people, they don't like to wear scarves. I think it's because a lot of straight people, straight men in particular, they're in the gym, they like to lift, all creatine powder and this and that. They got big, dense necks, and I think they want to show off their big, dense necks that hold up their big, dense heads. And they're not warm, they wear a hoodie. They're like, oh, I'm straight. I got a big ass neck and I wear a hoodie when it's 18 degrees, because I'm a man. And I'm like, you're not that diva, bro. You can be warm. No one's gonna think you're less of a man. But it's the new year, and just in time too, because, y'all, the end of 2024 was getting a little too crazy for me. I thought 2024 was for the sweat tour. I was having my brat summer, and now all of a sudden it's December, and oh, there's drones over New Jersey, they're spraying chemicals and spying on families, and I'm like, y'all, it's the holiday season and y'all are buying crap off of Amazon. These are delivery drones going to your doorstep. Y'all let a billionaire buy his way into the White House, and now y'all are sad that Rudolph got replaced by AI? This is the new normal. This is a product of your own design. Don't be mad. But anyway, it's the new year, and I think it's a great time to share all of my New Year's resolutions that I've made for all of you. Because I got my shit together. It's all of you causing all these damn problems, okay? First of all, get off of OnlyFans. It's one too many people I know from my high school are getting on camera when they should be getting behind the microphone on a podcast. That's audio only. The face made for radio term is not new. If that applies to you, keep it to yourself. Number 2, do not email me. I do not care. If you're sending me an email, it's because it's not important enough to talk to me in person about. And if it's not important enough to tell me in person, is it really important enough to tell me at all? No. I don't care. I'm not going to read it. So stay out of my inbox. Number 3. Get a goddamn job. Because there's too many jobless people in this world doing the stupidest shit. Mr. Beast. That man has no job. He's on Amazon Prime Video talking about Beast games. He's got his own little Squid Game, you know. And the grand prize for that show is $5 million. Okay. Survivor, you're on an island away from your family with like 20 other stupid people that you don't know. They all smell, you have no deodorant, you're sleeping in a bamboo shack, and you're starving to death. And that's for over a month, and you get $1 million if you win. Mr. Beast is having these jobless people on his show stack blocks, throw a ball, potato sack races. That's not a show, that's the family barbecue. I do that shit, I get a spare rib off the grill. And he's giving these stupid jobless people $5 million. Are you not outraged? This is the Amazon show. That's your taxpayer dollars paying for these jobless people to become billionaires so they can do stupid jobless shit. So get a goddamn job this year and stay out of my inbox. Thank you very much.
Keep it going for Sean, everybody. I have never been more got in my life. I don't have a scarf or a job. Sean, please hook me up with your scarf dealer after this. Coming up next, we have Annie, everybody. Give it up for Annie!
You guys know those slides at like fancy resorts that like have go through a shark tank? Yeah. It's my impression of the sharks. Fast food. So stupid. Last show, I told you guys that I didn't really understand the concept of breakup sex. I've been thinking a lot about it, and I think I get it now. You know, when you're about to shower, and your hair looks the best it's ever looked, right before you ruin it all?
Yes.
That's how it works. Over the break, I was with my family. That includes my 4-year-old nephew. He's so cute, he's so adorable. Also, 4-year-olds are manipulative little shits. He learned that he's cute, and he's running with it. He started telling everyone he meets and like pulling out a random object and being like, I made this for you, special. He handed me 3 grains of road salt. He was like, I made this for you. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he was like, I knew you'd love it. He's doing this now. When he turns 5, he's gonna start mansplaining this underground band called the Wiggles. Seeing my parents with my nephews is kind of like watching a How It's Made video of like my own emotional baggage. Parenting is done when you're a child for the same reason circumcision is. You're not supposed to remember that. When I was little, my dad used to do these little puppet shows for me. He had 2 characters. The first one, it was a dog. His name was Wolfgang. He had an accent that I'm not gonna repeat. The other one was a bunny. Her name was Bunny Foo-Foo. She talked like this. Get it? Because she's a girl. But in all these stories, like something bad would happen to Wolfgang. He'd either be like sad, or like hurt, or brutally murdered. I never really thought anything of this until I mentioned it. My mom's face turned like bright red. So when I learned that Wolfgang was the name of her ex-boyfriend. My dad told me bedtime stories about killing her ex. It is. I'm so pro therapy. Ask my therapist, she'll tell you I'm a pro. Woo! No, but actually though, I am very pro therapy, but have you guys seen those ads for like online or like phone therapy? They're crazy. Okay, I saw this one ad. It's this guy, he's like sitting in his car, he's like driving along, and then over the like speaker, this like voice comes on, and it's just this woman going like, sorry, I keep picking on you everyone, but did your mom leaving you have anything to do with why you push people away? And this guy's just like, my mom did abandon me. And like a single tear rolls down his cheek. My main question with this is like, why are we advertising therapy and driving? What, alcohol messes with my ability to operate heavy machinery, but my dad's alcoholism doesn't? We have breakdown lanes for a reason, people. You thought AAA was an acronym. It's not, it stands for anyone's grandparents scared of nursing homes? Yeah. My grandma's not. Over the break, she checked herself into one for a week and called it an all-inclusive vacation. She asked a bunch of the women there to like play cards with her, and then she kept leaving because they weren't good enough. She became like the Regina George of the nursing home, which is ironic because like she doesn't even live there. She really is like Regina George though, because I'm kind of convinced my grandma's a lesbian. Before I told her that I was gay, she told me to just pick a man because no one ever really likes them, they just pick one. I've had lesbian sex and that's the gayest thing I've ever heard. I don't really get when people say that being gay is a phase. Like, Crocs are a phase. Lesbian dates are 8 days long. I don't have time for that to be a phase. Also, like, I thought when I came in as non-binary, I would, like, have this whole major glow up. It turns out living as yourself doesn't really help when you're the problem. No, but I do, like, try and be kind of, like, androgynous and whatever, but, like, the only place I ever get called sir is at the airport.
which is also where I look the worst. So my options are girl or ugly. Also, crossing the American border is like the last place that I want anyone to think that I'm not who my passport says I am. I never really thought about like how much I'd have to come out at customs, but I was coming back to Boston with my girlfriend a little while ago, and we were at customs, and so the agent was like, how do you two know each other? And my girlfriend was like, oh, we're partners, and he didn't hear, so he was like, what? And now, my girlfriend has what I call a two-strike policy, which means that it's if someone doesn't hear her twice, she gets anxious, gives up, and just goes with it. So, the officer was like, what? And she was like, partners. And he was like, what? And she was like, partners. And he was like, cousins. And she was like, yes. Then he gave us another chance. And he said, really? And she said, yup. So I freaked out and I was like, no, partners. And he's just looking between us. And now I'm panicking, because not only does he think that I'm not who my passport says, but he thinks I'm dating my cousin. I cannot be banned from the airport. It's the only place that gives me gender euphoria. Also, coming out as gay was hard enough. Coming out as incestuous, not on my bingo card. So now the agent is confused, my girlfriend is sticking with this story, and I'm trying to figure out how the fuck this family tree works. But thankfully he was chill, and he thought that I was a straight white man, so he just let us through. Which was really relieving, because I really thought we were going to be late to the family reunion. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you, guys.
Keep it going for Annie, everybody. All right, we are down to our final few comics, so keep your chucklers chuckling. We've got a few more going. Let's give it up for Karen, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
So I tried Skims the other day. It was a pretty uncomfortable experience, but I did come out of it a bigger person. My sister got a breast reduction. Is a big weight off her chest. She hates when I do that joke. She was pretty generous with me, though. She gave me the leftovers. I used to be an A cup. Not bad. Funny thing is, I'm actually kind of the odd one out in my family. My mom also had to have a breast reduction, and then I guess the gene just kind of skipped over me like I was an Israelite on Passover. Shabbat shalom to anyone who got that. In general, I try not to like pick myself apart too much, think about my genetic makeup. I don't think I did so bad, right? Yeah, I think I'm all right. Secular 7, Jewish 9, give or take. But yeah. Thank you. That's my rant for the day. I've been doing this for a while now. Started my freshman year. I'm a fourth year. And I think, some of you probably recognize me, although this time I am fully clothed. The last time I was up here, I wore a bodysuit that I purchased from littleforbig.com. If that tells you anything about my character or this club that I preside over. Last time I was up here, I also manifested that Kamala would lose, so you're welcome. If you're wondering what I do, I'm actually president of Times New Roman. Yeah, I have a co-president who's awesome. Give it up for Ben. Fucking hate that guy. Stole my fucking election. He hid the votes, people. He hid them in his Jufro. Look. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And he wouldn't let me do insurrection theme tonight. Criminal. He should be the felon. All right, it's just jokes, I'm probably overreacting, Ben, I'm sorry I said you had a Jufro. I did not mean to out you as Jewish. I know how much you like hiding things. Another surprise Jew Hawk Tua girl? More like Hawk Jua. Shout out Mia for that one. Yeah, I had no idea until I found out she was running a fraudulent crypto scam. Then it all clicked. We gotta stop doing that. It's not a good look. All right, moving on. Let's do some crowd work. Who wants to talk to me? Hands, you. I'm lasering on you. No?
Oh, sure.
Okay, what's your name?
Richie.
Okay, Richie. Got any kinks or fetishes I should know about?
No.
I'm gonna interpret that as feet. No? You like to be tied up? Is it work? Do I keep going?
I don't know. I mean... no.
This is getting real weird real fast. I'm gonna move on. What's your year? How old are you?
18. I am
18, oh my
my
God.
first year.
So young.
Oh,
Why are you out clubbing? What are you doing here?
Yeah, you know, I asked the same thing. Yeah, I was wondering.
How dare you? This is my art, Richie. Wow.
Yeah.
What's your major?
Business with a supply chain concentration.
Ooh, fancy. Business. I can't work with that. Give me something else.
Like what?
It's okay.
I don't know. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Go Phillies.
Yeah. Go Birds.
Slay. I like Pennsylvania, kind of. I heard someone say it's two big cities with Alabama in the middle. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I think that's true. I would agree with that. Yeah, but there's Allentown, where I'm from.
Allentown.
So I think it's the third. There's three big cities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Allentown.
Okay, period. Okay.
Come visit. Everyone, come visit.
We will, Richie. Thanks for being a good sport. Sorry I had to pick on you. Everyone, give it up for Richie the Foot Guy. Kind of feel like a teacher after that. I'm like talking to some 18-year-old, calling him a pervert. I don't know.
You're the creep.
Oh, I'm the creep. Oh, look who's talking about Allentown, all this weird shit.
I think you might be the foot one. I don't know.
Oh, I'm the foot one. Okay. Anyways, speaking of me being a creep, I think that if I were a teacher, I would have the entire football team lining up for me for about 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Men like a bossy woman. They do. I know what men want. They want mommy. Okay? This isn't new information, it's not groundbreaking, but I think some of you guys need a reminder. And I say this from a place of love because I used to be insecure and let guys do me dirty, but I'm here to tell you, don't put up with their shit, okay? Don't do it. I'll give you an example. Some guy who's really flaky, kind of a douche, named like Richie or something. He's not committing to you in the way that you want. He slides you a text, 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Hey babe, you want a link? You don't go over there. You tell him it's a school night. He has homework to do. He has places to be tomorrow. All right, I'll leave you guys on that note. Thank you so much. I'm Karen Kirsten.
Keep it going for Karen. We also get a round of applause for Richie. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have my doppelganger. He looks just like me. I was not the person that Karen was yelling at. Let's give 5 big booms. Don't actually do that. For Ben, everybody.
It's called the Electoral College, Karen. Richie gets 15 votes, you don't get any, I don't make the rules.
How's everybody doing tonight? Anybody from NUN? Just you. Okay, where'd you go? Scotland. Okay, cool. So you're from the Empire then? You came back. Northeastern's glorious empire. The sun never sets on Joseph Aoun. You understand? You're gonna pick up on this quickly. Don't worry. Okay. So I was missing a lot in the fall semester. I'm guessing none of you came to our shows anyway, so you don't know that. Cool. But I didn't do a lot of shows. And the reason is because a Northeastern professor told me to get vodka, Zins, and Red Bull to a bunch of worms. Yeah, this is true. And so it's called the Holy Trinity in the academic circles. I'm sure you're aware of this. The effects that you learn about vodka, Zins, and Red Bull given to worms. Number one, sober worms, not as fun as drunk worms. Drunk worms, I hear stories about invertebrate Christmas. And man, it was fantastic. I'm just going to give you a live rendition of what I've been told. Hey, Uncle Wiggles, can you pass the mashed potatoes? Not now, Jimmy. Talking about how these invasive species are ruining this compost pile. Anyway, I just love that. So we were trying to figure out how drunk our worms are, so we had to give a couple of sobriety tests them. The first one, you give this like mini breathalyzer to worms, which works about as well as you could expect, because a worm's butt and its mouth are the same hole, so it's not the greatest. Then you ask them to like spell the ABCs backwards, which again, same butt, mouth, hole problem. It doesn't work out. And our final test we had for him was they had to stand on one leg, which, you know, butt, mouth, hole, no legs. Again, we ran into some issues. So yeah, as I told you, we found that sober worms, number one, are losers. And second, alcoholic worms die like really fast. Like super fast. So to extend the study, we were trying to think of what we could do next. And the one thought I came up with was, what if we fed our alcoholic worms to an alcoholic human? And so I can only imagine this is what happened about 15 years ago on the side of I-95 when RFK's buddy was like, yo, I bet you won't eat that raccoon. And he was like, there's a spoon in my trunk. And so like how he had to break the news to the New York Times, and I shit you not, this is like a real quote. He was like, yes, I ate some bad meat. It had a worm in it. The worm then ate my brain. It immediately died. Which gives me two things when you're running for president. Number one, his ideas taste as bad as they sound. I'm sorry, that was low-hanging fruit, but thank you for that laugh. And number two is like, if you're running for president, I wouldn't go around telling the people that my brain goo can be used as an effective bug repellent. So RFK is going to be your Health and Human Services Director now, so congratulations for that. I'm leaving the country. This worm it's dead, but it did eat part of his temporal lobe. And there are parts of the brain that you kind of wish a worm would eat over others. Like if I'm gonna have a worm eat part of my brain, prefrontal cortex, first one to go. I'm fine with that. I'm a man, I don't have one anyway, and even if I did, it's the thing that tells me, don't do 175 on the highway, your girlfriend loves you, right? So, it's okay. Let's say like, then a worm eats part of your hippocampus. A little bit worse, though you won't remember it, so it's okay. Now, you really don't want a worm to eat part of your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain that decides like what you perceive in the world and how you do your sensories. So, worm gets in there, you can hear the worm's thoughts. You and the worm become one. You and the worm both decide together to shoot JFK again. And I've already told you the thoughts of Uncle Wiggles. Worms love to talk about immigration, but the one thing they love most is making Kennedys rapidly lose brain cells. Anyway, this is my long PR stand about how you should all cook your meat in your dorm rooms, please. And also, if you're eating at Steve's, good luck, no one can save you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great semester.
Keep it going for that, everybody. All right. Now we are up to me. But before I get started, I'd just like to thank our sound crew and our wonderful cameraman, Brian. Can we get a round of applause for those people? All right. Welcome to 2025, everybody. I think we have done a pretty damn good job getting rid of bigotry, racism, sexism, homophobia in our country. But I think there's one place we're just going to have to compromise, and that's driving instructors. Now, if you don't understand that, it's probably because you're not from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey, which is the most densely populated and diverse state in the country, which means we also have the highest proportion of old white people who don't like that. So, driving lessons are pretty much the underground railroad for bigotry in the state. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my old friend Mark, who was my driving instructor. You know, Mark's kids, they don't want to listen to him anymore. So what's the next best step? Become a driving instructor and force young, impressionable minds to listen to you, to pay to listen to you. So, with one seat into his car, Mark knew that I agreed with everything he had to say with, obviously. So we get driving, and you know, when a 75-year-old white guy who has full control over your legal status to drive a car, and also your life at the moment because he's driving the car, turns and says to you, you know, there's a hell of a lot more Asians around nowadays. You just nod your head quietly and contemplate if he understands childbirth. And you might be thinking, Jesse, that's probably just your driving instructor. Surely they're mostly normal, right? And I'd say, sure, that's a pretty reasonable thing to think. But then we got to the DMV, and he recognized the driving instructor in front of us. And that's when I realized, you know how regular offices have like their water cooler talk? Like, oh, hey, Jenny, how are the kids? You know, take a sip of water. These gentlemen have driving lessons talk. They have driving trainees right in between them. So Mark turns to this gentleman who's probably about 45 and he says, "A lot has changed." And that immediately gets the gears turning in my head. You know, like, how long has it been since these two gentlemen saw each other? Did he teach the younger one how to drive? I mean, just in the last 15 years, we've got a black president, gay marriage, furries. They can be talking about anything. And then the other guy goes, "A lot." So that means they agreed. They knew exactly what this event was, but they didn't need to say it. And then Mark says it anyways. "Yeah, you can't hit him anymore or they call you queer." Now, in order to properly understand this, I think we need to acknowledge the high school gym teacher to driving instructor pipeline. I mean, my driver's ed teacher spent a good 20 minutes one day rationalizing smoking crack at the dinner table. That is true. And you know, once they get to this point where they've bottled up all these feelings for all these years, they can't say it in school, they'll get fired. Let's just have young kids pay to hear it. And so, you know, we're driving, and I talked to a few of my other comics, and they told me about the first times they drove. The highest speeds they were going was anywhere like 5, 10, 15, you know, if you were ambitious, maybe 20, 25. Mark liked me. He took me a little further out than he takes most people. And we've been going for about 90 minutes, and then he says, "Oh shit, I've got another appointment in 30 minutes. You can just pull over onto the highway and we'll get going." Now, I'm sure many of you tried the highway your first time driving, and I was like, you know what? I'm confident, I can do this. So I'm going maybe 40 miles an hour. I'm like, I'm pretty fucking good at this, right? And he's like, "Oh, no, you can speed up. The speed limit's 65. So I crank it up to 60. And then he does something that I never would have expected. He gets a phone call, and he picks it up, and it's his wife. And he's like, "Oh no, honey, I'm gonna be home real soon. Oh no, you can speed up a little bit. 85 is fine." And I'm thinking, am I teaching him how to drive? If I'm thinking of the two things that a driving instructor is gonna tell you not to do, it's go 20 above the speed limit and be on your phone. And he's doing both of those things right now. Before I go, I'd just like you all to think about the driving instructors and gym teachers in your lives because they're really underappreciated and they've got a lot of really important things to say. Thank you, everybody. Now, before we get you all out of here, we will talk about the club in just a second. We just have one special presentation for you all, so keep your hands together for that.
Hi guys, first of all, can we just give a big round of applause to all the comedians tonight? It's been a great show. Oh my gosh. So as some of you guys know, over the break we had some heartbreaking news happen to our Times New Roman community. We unfortunately lost one of our members, CJ Cronin, on December 18th. CJ was a really important member of Times New Roman. You might know him from his Gru impression that he did many times, or that one time when he came on stage and he sang an Irish jig for 5 minutes. But CJ was a very valuable member of the club, and we will all miss him really dearly. You know, grief is a really hard thing, and this is really the first time that I've been grieving this hard, so it's been a lot. But you know, it's also a wonderful thing because a lot of people in the world don't get to have, you know, like a relationship or a friendship or a connection with someone that's so special that it makes it so hard to lose them. CJ was really special to me. We spent a lot of time together, and he really was one of my greatest friends for a long time. With CJ, I felt like I never had to put on a mask or perform, which I do all the time, and he really appreciated me, and I appreciated his friendship so much. I got to share a lot of parts of myself with him that I've been, you know, really scared to share with other people, and he still came around. So I really love him dearly, and we really miss him. You know, they don't make boys like Siege anymore. But I put together a little presentation because we got a lot of fun times together and a lot of laughs and a lot of really silly random things we did. So here it is. Hope you enjoy.
I wanted to ask this because I've always wondered, how long have you been sitting here for?